Are you packing for a golf trip using a soft-sided golf travel bag? If so, this video is for you. We're going to give you insights into the details of what can happen if you travel without use of any tools or tips to protect your clubs in that soft-sided bag. But we're also going to give you one super simple but awesome travel hack to ensure that your clubs endure air travel safely, securely, so that you can enjoy that golf travel. Stay tuned. So thanks to all of you for providing your experiences and your feedback and your questions about traveling with golf gear. Though it's not the most complicated thing in the world, sometimes it's not the simplest, particularly if you haven't done it before. So that's why we were so excited here to share that information with you. But a lot of really interesting questions came up. And a lot of people even asked me, well, what will happen if I travel with my clubs without putting them or protecting them in the particularly detailed way that you mentioned, Dr. Greta. So I thought I'd share a little bit about that. Now, I will say this, folks. Not so long ago, I was taking a trip. It was a business trip too, and I had my clubs, and I think we were mid-flight, and oh my gosh, I realized that I had thrown my clubs into my soft-sided bag, but had forgotten to put the stiff arm in there. So essentially, my clubs were just traveling, just as if they were in the back of my truck here, you know, in my local hometown. I was terrified. Now, as I rushed down after to pick up my clubs from baggage claim, I checked them out, and they managed to make it okay. But I will say this, I would not recommend that for anyone. I think it was more luck than anything that they survived that, but I wanted to share that with you. It can happen, but don't bet on it. So as I've said here many times, everyone's level of tolerance for risk is different, and I'm not here to advise you to tell you what to do, but I try to provide information to help you make the best decision for you, whether it's in your golf play or your travel or whatever the case may be. So one of the things that I do know is that for many golfers, including myself, our own personal equipment is oftentimes represents a pretty serious investment. It's a significant investment. Golf equipment is not the cheapest in the world, and we come to love our clubs. I mean, they're an extension of us, quite literally. But we take our clubs pretty seriously, so we don't want them getting unnecessarily dinged up and harmed. So if we can prevent it, why not prevent it, right? So here's really what I'm excited about sharing with you. Because I mentioned I have traveled a lot with my clubs, and I'm kind of picky about my clubs, to be very truthful. I don't want them nicked up or harmed in any way. So I have one really good travel hack that I learned many years ago from some seasoned vets, and so I'm passing that along to you here. So this one travel hack will save you a lot of heartache with your clubs. Check it out. Now, in addition to the stiff arm, most people and golfers who are pretty experienced in travel and use a soft-sided bag will also tell you that they probably include an additional kind of trick or tip when preparing their clubs for safe transit, which involves wrapping and securing their irons in particular, which tend to be the clubs that might be in your bag without a cover. Our drivers and our metals and and our hybrids typically will have a cover. What they will do is wrap their irons in individual socks, or maybe one or two of them together. But I do that personally when I use a soft-sided bag. I put a pretty thick athletic socks, like tube socks, over those irons and my wedges, because I don't want them to get nicked. I don't want my grooves compromised. I don't want the club head compromised. And it may not seem like a lot can go on in there, folks, but again, it is rough going down those conveyor belts and, you know, on the plane ride. You think about how jarring the plane ride can be for us, and we're sitting in nice, you know, comfortable fuselage. Down below, it's not so pretty, and so you have to do everything you can to protect your clubs. And so that's one of the tricks that I use. So tube socks around each club, or maybe at most one or two of them together. But again, it's really imperative to minimize the friction and the contact that your clubs will experience, and that's additional way to make good use of the stiff arm and the soft-sided bag if that is the route that you choose. So I'm hopeful that learning about how you can create that additional layer of protection for your clubs when using a soft-sided golf travel bag is helpful to you. I appreciate you watching and learning, and if you have questions about this, because I think, we threw a lot at you there, particularly if you're not used to traveling like this or doing that type of thing, but no worries. You can reach out to me right here on this channel, or feel free to reach out to me at the other channels, particularly Facebook and Instagram. I'm at Dr. Greta Golf, DrGretagolf. In the meantime, I thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't done it already, please subscribe, hit the little red button, subscribe, and make sure to hit the bell so that you get notifications when we post each video. In the meantime, I want you to know that I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you again, and bye for now.